Financial freedom is what the vast majority of us would love to achieve. Not to be tied to a 9 to 5 and trading the vast majority of our lives to generate an income. Only to spend a tiny portion of our lives doing the things we love. Instead, we want to travel the world, take a walk in the park whenever we want, and spend more time with family. Breaking out of this mold is not easy, but it is possible. A quick calculation on a compound interest calculator will show you will become a millionaire by the time you're 65. Hooray! But realistically, that's not what you want. Is your aim really to have a million at 65 or 70 when you're too old to enjoy it, and to die cash rich on your deathbed? Or like me, do you want to do it sooner? Well, by the end of this video, I want you to go away saying, I'm ready to do this.
Let's do this. Let's do this.
First, we need to destroy the stigma around financial freedom. I love financial freedom, but it's way too tied up in the notion of scam that it's going to leave you nowhere. False promises and dreams of becoming financially free are not what we're looking for. What you need to do is define what financial freedom means to you. By that I mean, what is it that you want to achieve? Sure, the idea of having millions in the bank, going on bike rides and picnics on a permanent holiday sounds great, but is that really what you want? How about these goals? The ability to work from anywhere, take your laptop and off you go. Being able to work 1 or 2 less days per week, or working flexible hours so you can take an afternoon off. Or get your work done at night or in the morning before people wake up. Have the time to pick up the kids from school and take them to the park. Or maybe it's the ability to be rewarded with more money based on how hard you work. By those standards, I have financial freedom, and I'm not a millionaire, and you don't need to be either. Now, this strategy comprises of 2 parts: investing and your work. First, there's something very important that you need to get right before we go any further, and that is your investing strategy. The vast majority of us are taking a long-term approach to investing, which will span over years and years. At some point when you want more income, you may decide to switch to a dividend strategy, which would suit you better and generate you some more income. Companies whose stock price will rise, plus that dividend is really your golden ticket. But what's even more important is the type of account that you're using. If you want to use your investments to generate income, then you need to consider when you want access to that money. A pension is going to lock your money away till 58 from 2028, and a lifetime ISA is going to lock your money away till 60. If you're wanting access to your money sooner, you'll either want to go for a regular investment account, non-ISA, which you can make your capital gains tax allowance each year tax-free, or you'll want your ISA, and keep an eye out for flexible ISAs, which are becoming more popular, as they will let you take money out and not lose your ISA allowance. They are really exciting, but they're still fairly new. A popular strategy is to have your pension account to retire at 58, and then you use your ISA to knock off years from that. For example, if you had £100,000 and you wanted £20,000 a year, you could retire at 53, knocking off 5 years. So think about at what point you want your money, because you may find it's all locked up. Now, something you really need to understand when it comes to financial freedom, and it may surprise you to hear me saying this, is investing is flawed. And this is because the vast majority of people, over 95%, can't beat the stock market. Now, we hear that statement quite often, that we should just invest in an S&P 500 index fund, set and forget, and we'll make a steady return that'll compound over time. Well, that's fine, but let's say we invest £300 per month and we achieve an 8% return per year. For me, that puts me at over 1 million in 40 years' time. I'll be aged 73 to enjoy my million. Some of you may have the luxury of time on your side, but even starting at 20, that's 60. Still a great achievement, but probably not the financial freedom dream that you're chasing. If you invested £1,000 per month, that's 26 years, 14 years sooner. £2,000 per month will do it in 19 years, that's 21 years sooner. That's literally half the time. I'd be a millionaire by 52. Still not groundbreaking, but it's a hell of a lot better than 73. People get so caught up in investing and trying to make the right decisions to beat the market that actually you're focusing on the wrong thing. And this is what most people want to sugarcoat and not even mention. You need more money. It sounds harsh, but it's true. And this is the reason why so many people who have retired early are high earners. They just have the money to invest. Now I know a lot of people will think,
yeah, it's alright for some.
and I'm not doing a Molly May saying,
we all have the same 24 hours in a day is not correct. And I'm like, but technically what I'm saying is correct. We do.
because we don't. I have been afforded luxuries in life. I've been lucky enough to live at home while I was in university. I chose to stay at home to save costs, and I'm lucky enough to have electricity and a computer to start working online. But I'm nothing special. I taught myself to build websites because university taught me useless skills. I started my business, I failed businesses, I tried and tried until I did make money. I wouldn't even particularly say I'm a good coder or designer. I'm not naturally talented at it, but I know how to put things together. And like this YouTube, the reason you see my investing series and that I'm hesitant to show the earnings is because some people will be like,
7k in a month, wow, that's alright for some.
but actually I taught myself to edit. I finally built up the confidence after years to just take a chance and do it. I grinded for months of nothing, I had sleepless nights, and finally it paid off a year later. And I'll keep grinding to make it work. No one helps me to do it. I have to force myself to get up and work on it and grind on days when I really just can't be bothered. And if I can do it, then you can certainly do it too.
Just do it!
I'm not saying that you should run off and become a web designer like me, but we live in a crazy age. 20-year-olds are blowing up on TikTok, making enough money to buy Lamborghinis and multiple businesses off the back of selling £20 fitness plans. People are live streaming their online shops, rammed with orders in already crowded marketplaces. There's so many ways that you can make money utilizing something you actually enjoy doing, a hobby or an interest, so it doesn't actually feel like work. You're probably not going to succeed either. I failed a lot, both in investing and business, but it's what you learn from those failures. Every time you fail, it's only going to make you stronger. And it's much better to fail in those early stages than when there's a lot more money and responsibility on the line. You just need to take the risk and put yourself out there. Stop caring what other people think, because the truth is that you're the only one that cares. Another thing you really need to think about is saving money. This is something I don't really agree with. Any guide that you see on financial independence and retiring early is going to tell you to save, and save. I don't think it takes a rocket scientist to work out you need to save money. Sure, things like cutting out subscriptions you don't need, getting cheaper deals are good, but always remember the time trade-off. You can become so fixated with saving money, and I've seen this time and time again, where people have complex budgeting and saving spreadsheets. They almost make saving their side hustle, which can be fine, but are you making more money that way than if you put the same effort into making more money? The other downside of adopting a saving mindset, and I know a few people who have got stuck in this mindset, is you don't spend money, which sounds good, but it really isn't. For example, if you won't buy a car because it's cheaper, are you still able to drive somewhere for the day and enjoy it whenever you want? Or are you sitting on a bus for 3 hours in which you could be way more productive? Are you not enjoying your life and having experiences because you're saving money instead? Or not going out with friends? All of these things should be done in moderation, but having a saving mindset can be quite dangerous and restricting. So just always remember, we need to experience life, have fun, and enjoy ourselves along the way, because none of us know how long we've got left. I like to think of it all as a video game, probably from my background playing online games, but it's always helped me, and I think it can help you too. Let's divide your week into blocks of time. And to keep it simple, I'm going to assume 8 hours of your day are spent working, 9 to 5, 5 days per week. The median average salary for workers in the UK is £25,971. And let's say you get 28 days holiday per year. That leaves us with 232 days per year that we work. That puts us at an hourly rate of roughly £14 per hour. Let's call it 15. So each little square on our grid is worth £15. 4 blocks is 60 and a full strip is 120. Now, to unlock financial freedom, you've got two options. First is to find work work where you can adapt your hours. For example, you could move 4 blocks into the evening to unlock 4 blocks in the morning or afternoon. Or perhaps you can do an additional 2 hours per day to unlock a full day on a Friday. How does a 3-day weekend sound? But the smarter way, and the way I look at it, is for each additional £15 you can make, it's an hour back. For each £120 you make, it's a day back. Imagine if you just focused on unlocking 1 hour back per week, then 2 hours, then half a day, then a full day, 2 full days, until you'd replaced your income completely. This can be done through a combination of income generation and investing. Dividends can pay you out and unlock hours. I like to illustrate it in this way because it demonstrates something quite clearly. And this is the biggest mistake we're all guilty of making because it's the way we've been taught. And that is you trade your time for money. Time was my biggest problem when I started my business, and something I have to be very aware of even now. I only have so many blocks in the day, and if I trade them for money, sure, I can increase my hourly rate to an extent, but I've only got so much time to sell. This is where shifting your focus to a passive income generation is so important. The passive model of generating income is far better. It still requires a lot of work by putting in the work now, but you work on things that will generate you more income later. So I might spend 10 hours making a YouTube video, but the hope is that this will generate me more views and income for years to come. Let's say you're a personal trainer. You could train clients for £30 per hour. You have the stress of filling up those slots to generate what could be your pretty average wage. After people drop out, slots aren't filled, and you've got your costs to pay. What if you created online content with sponsorships and advertising revenue, had online recurring payments for coaching, your own clothing brand, affiliate deals and supplements and referrals, or you created a membership where you partnered with a physio to offer a group experience. Once you put your mind to it, expanding your brand with your expertise is much easier. You just have to break out of that traditional mindset of I get paid X per hour. That way you get paid while you're out for a walk with a dog, on holiday, or even sleeping. And I know that sounds like a generic thing that people will plaster everywhere, but it's true. You just need to put yourself out there and try. Now you've started thinking, let's unlock some hours. But there's really one more important thing that we need to talk about, and that is the fixation on retiring. Retiring is great, and it's something we'll all do one day, but is retiring all you're trying to achieve? Retiring can become a fixation that doesn't truly represent your goal. There's a more important goal that we should all be focusing on, which is happiness. And that is the true financial freedom goal. There's a preconceived notion that you should find a job you love, but work is work. And no matter what you do, even if you truly love it, there will be times you don't want to do it. But can you find a job where you'll enjoy what you do more? Where you aren't trapped in a 9-to-5 that you hate? For me, the true deciding factor is the clock. The only thing I never want to find myself doing is counting down the hours. That's a huge red flag that you're not using your time correctly. The key is to design the life you want. Writing down what you want to achieve, realistically how much you want to work, and the type of work you want to do, and how much free time you want, and then adjusting your life to suit it. If life was a video game, you'd set those goals, and that's exactly what you would set out to achieve, and you would accomplish it. So why do we coast on autopilot and think, one day? I hope I've shown you in this video that life isn't all about retiring. It's about designing your life so you're financially free along the way. Don't sacrifice your life now for a rich retirement when you're too old to enjoy it. You can find financial freedom much quicker than you think. You just need to decide what financial freedom means to you and find your happiness.